Alright, good morning guys and girls. So, we got our plug for our, hopefully that's the right size for the, our freshwater tank. We've got two lines to replace these connections here to hook up our water to see if this works. I don't like that line, doesn't really have a really good connection. I don't know, those little plastic twist things on the end aren't very good. And we've got some magnetic closures to install here and here, so this will stay where it needs to be. Everything should have dried up now, so I can take these off. We've got electric, we've got these little lights somewhere right here. We gotta install these little lights. Boom, boom. I guess I need a third one. Boom. Then we're done with this. Get out of there. Shoom. So 1, 2, 3. Done with the lights. My wet vac died on me for whatever reason, so now I've got to try to take apart the motor or something and like see if I can get a replacement motor, or I've not used it very often, so I'm not sure why it would have quit, but it started sounding very weird and then it just stopped working. So I've got to do something there. So today is, after those things, we're going to test the water out today, see if everything works, see if there's no leaks. Hopefully everything works good and no leaks. And then we're going to do electric. And hopefully get our electric done. And then we're going to move on to trim. We're going to hopefully trim this out so it looks okay. We're going to do this exterior lighting. You know what I'm thinking about this exterior lighting? It's 17, this awning is 17 feet 6 inches, and the that LED lighting 16.4. It's about a foot off, and I think it would look cool to just have it go around the arm, but you can't, when it retracts in, it can't be on that roller because the roller will destroy it. So you almost need like a, maybe I can drill in the end of that arm and then just run a cable to the other side and secure a cable like you would in string lighting, and then just zip tie the LED lighting to that string. I think that would work. And if so, I would have to run, you know, you're going to have to run the power up here through the wall, through this rail, and then on the under bottom side of this rail. So it's either that or put it directly on the side. The lighting would be better if it was out though, instead of just right on the side. So, not sure. We got to figure, maybe I should watch a couple of videos and see how other people have done it, but it would be nice if they should just make they should just put LEDs right into the that mount, that roller mount. Why don't they do that? Huh. Yeah, anyhow, we got to figure that out. We got to figure out how to get rid of those blue lights. And if we can get all that done, then we can put this bottom piece in and then work on doing a cutout here and maybe putting some hinges to make this a door. And then we can build these cabinets. There's really nothing stopping us from building these cabinet drawers and putting the drawer slides on and getting all that done today. So I'm thinking pull-out drawers here, door there, generator there, dual doors here, depending on the room. I think so here's kind of how I would go about doing this. Take a tape measure. Put it somewhere like there, okay? Take a look at how big these are. So these are about over a foot. So, I mean, you're probably gonna need 14 inches. So the generator is gonna come out to, so if we do this, and then we do that, okay, and then add 2 inches or 3 inches, then that tells us our drawers need to stay with about, so our drawer width should be about 16 inches. That would give us a nice big pull-out drawer. So 16-inch pull-out drawers, 16 inches wide, probably what we're gonna do there. This is kind of funky. We want that to turn like that. If we do one here, it would look better if it opened like that. That way it's out of the road so you can kind of pour. We're gonna have to figure out how to get diesel into there without spilling it. And then maybe on top of that heater, maybe I'll build a little platform, or maybe I'll turn that water heater on and see if it actually gets hot. But maybe that looks like a good place to store a tank of diesel. So maybe we'll add some wall mounts to secure a can of diesel there with like a little tie-down strap. That might be good. Maybe. Anyhow, we're gonna we'll figure this out. I'm curious to throw the bed in here and see what's going on with the bed. Like, does it fit? Everything look okay? Do these springs actually lift the bed up with the bed on here? Do I need to adjust things so it lifts the bed up? Yeah, but we're getting close. Oh, and we've got I got a little $10 spare tire cover. Have you ever seen a spare tire that they put up underneath the basically anything? Have you ever pulled it out of there? And I've seen them. The one on the truck was so bad over here. The one on the truck was so bad when I pulled it off of there. The wheel, it was almost rusted through. So why wouldn't they just put a $10 cover over it to keep the road grime off of the metal? I don't know. So I'm gonna put that cover over that wheel, and we've got to build a custom tire mount under there. So I have some EMT electrical conduit stuff, this 1/2 inch, and I have a pipe bender. So basically you hammer flat the end that you're going to attach up under there, you know, screw into the frame, and then you go down and then you bend it so that you have something to set the tire on. You know, it acts as a cradle. And then when you get to the other side and figure out what that needs to be, you cut it and you bend it and you smash it with a hammer flat like that. Do that 2 times. Mount those up there with some self-tapping screws. Put that cover on there and then throw it up under there and put a tie-down strap and just tie down it, ratchet it down. That thing ain't going nowhere. Then you have a good, we need to put a little lock things on here so no one runs off with your wheels if you're somewhere, just in case. These lock things should be here, I don't know, over the weekend, I think, so we can finally switch out, put new locks on here that aren't the RV locks that everybody has. And what else? I've got to find a place to mount this thing now, because that thing, ended up being in the road, so I had to remove that. So we need to remount that jack. And if I have to remount it in a different direction, like this way now, then I'll probably take the other one off on the other side and mount it the same so they don't look dumb. Yeah, but basically our cables run. I ran our cable, ran the rest of the DC wiring, so we are almost, we're rocking through this. I need to do a check to make sure there's no leaks, everything's good with all of the water stuff. And then if we're good on the propane. I already checked that out. I got a CO monitor. Does CO settle down? I can't remember. I think smoke alarms you mount high for smoke, and CO monitors, I think it goes low. So we're gonna mount this low somewhere. And then we got a fire extinguisher, and they gave us this little stupid plastic mount that is not gonna hold. I don't even know why they would even 3D print something that stupid. So I guess we'll make our own mount for this and for the, where's the torch at? I should have a torch somewhere. So we'll make mounts for this and for the torch and for the axe, and then put that somewhere here. I was gonna say I could put them on that, but then you can't get to it without opening the door. We'll figure that out. Anyhow, it's coming along, so I'm gonna get to it. Praise God. All right, guys, we've got lights. Why does it look like I should have another wire right here? Oh no, did I miss a cutout? Guys, it looks like I missed a cutout. Oh, poop! I know I spaced these the same. Like 32. There should be one right there. Ah. Okay, that sucks. I just started the water. My plug fit, which is pretty good. I was kind of worried about that hose, but nothing is leaking down here. And my water tank is filling up. So, we're gonna have water, guys, water. So I'm gonna do the water lines, and then we're gonna test all the water stuff. And then it looks like I need to put the hole saw back together, measure somewhere in here. You know what? Maybe I forgot to pull the wires down. I pulled the wires down and zip tied them, so maybe I just forgot to do it there. And that's why I skipped over it. But yeah, we're definitely, there's supposed to be one here. Huh. So we got to fix that real quick. But they work. The dimmer works. So, okay. Well, guess what? I just did my hole saw and I was only that far off from the hole. So I just forgot to pull the wires down. So I just got to trim that out, and I only nicked the wire just a little bit with that big hole saw going through there. So that could have turned out completely differently. So praise God. Water tank is full enough, and let's check this. And it works, look. Yay. Black, empty. Gray, empty. Fresh. 2/3 full. Battery, full. The LPG thing doesn't work. I got the LPG thing there. 13.5 volts. 100%. We're pulling in 25 amps. We're pulling in 347 watts right now, just off of what little bit of sun's coming through the tree. 345 watts coming in. So good job, everything's working the way it's supposed to. All right, praise God. All right, these are swapped out. These stainless lines are so much better, and the connections feel secure, tight, so much better. All right, so let's see, our shore power, our shore water is off. This for our water here is off. This from our fresh tank is on. This, so let's test this out. So water. Oh, what's that? Freshwater pump. Oh no, it's not priming. That's not good. Let's give it some water from here. That's a pretty damn short run for it not to prime. This is a shorter run, so we'll see what happens. Tuck this in there, shut that off, turn this on. Well, all right, let me go put some shore water on here and see what happens. Okay, so you know what it was? I had put an on and off valve underneath the whole system down there, so I went and turned it on. But then when I was looking at this, if I bring my shore power water in, my shore power water is going to push on this side, and I have a lock so it doesn't backfill, but I didn't put a valve in there. So I really need a valve right there. So I'm going to undo this. I'm going to cut that out. I'm going to move this. I'm going to unmount that, scoot this thing over a little bit, and add a valve right there. And then we're going to try it. All right, so water valve added. bloop, bloop. Not too bad. It's a little tighter than I wanted it now, but whatever. So let's open this system up. Let's open this up. Oh shoot, hold on. Well guys, guess what? Everything works and I like it. The shower works. The toilet works. I flooded the RV already. I forgot to crimp one of the connections, so water was shooting out everywhere. I'm like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? But everything works. Okay. We got a little sprayer. This thing works. On and off valve back there. Shower works. Yay. Nice. The drains, everything works. There's no leaks in any of this. I haven't tested the hot water heater to see if it works. But the pump does not work. It won't prime. Even when I fill it to prime it, it won't stay primed. So this is one that I think I've had in the I had that hooked up in the basement. I don't know how old that is. So maybe there's just something going on with that pump, like a broken seal or something up in here that's not. So I don't know. I'm gonna go see what kind of pump I have. I mean, those are cheap. They're only like 60 bucks, but do I order a new 12 volt pump and replace that and just hook it into the wiring, or do I just, if I've got a 120 volt pump sitting up there, I might just use it because I have it, because I got to run the electric over here anyway, so maybe I'll just put an outlet there and then hook it up. So we'll see. I don't know what's going on with that, why it doesn't work, but that kind of sucks. Otherwise, there's no leaks, everything works. I had to add a I forgot when the shore water comes in, I need to make it go down and route, so I forgot that extra T. So now we got the manifold system the way we need to, and that way you can block out your pump altogether. So yeah, it won't prime even out of this. So typically if something won't prime, you put water pressure to pre-prime it, and it won't keep prime even when it's pre-primed. So there's something wrong with that pump. So poop. Thought we would be done with that. So I'm gonna go install the magnets and the for the shower door to keep that thing shut, and then we're gonna swap out that pump, and then hopefully everything works, and then we can move on to the next thing. Run an electric. Okay. Well, this is when you're glad that you actually prep for stuff. Not only do I have an extra 12 volt pump, but I've got a spare 120 volt pump. So since I already have one of these, I'm just going to swap this in real quick and see if it works. If it does, great. If it doesn't, then we're going to go that route. Alright. Alright guys, so I just installed 2 of these on the bottom part. Look at that. So much better. Okay. So okay. So this works. All I need to do is vacuum up some metal shavings. Then we're going to move on to the water pump. Dude, it is getting so damn hot today. I did not know it was going to get this hot today. This is like almost go to the river day. I bet my phone is in overheat mode. Yeah, my phone is overheating. I left it out in the sun. Nice. I wondered why the music shut off. Okay, let's put it in front of the fan. Holy crap, dude, it's hot. All right, so now we're onto the water pump. All right, Mike Adams is sitting here talking about the Fauci and pleading the fifth 111 times. And I'm just like, and he's like, now we know that it was a bioweapon, and now we know that how it all came to be. And I'm like, dude, how many years ago was that? They've moved on. They're putting the bioweapon in the food now. I mean, anyhow. Guess what, guys? I swapped out the pump, and I added a valve here. So what was happening was it was circulating. I didn't have a valve there to shut it off to keep the pressure. So it was just recirculating through the pump. I'm like, oh, I need an extra valve. I didn't have an extra valve, so I just cut a valve out of that thing and then put it over here. So it works. The pump is on, and it's pumping from the fresh water. The fresh water pump is on, and okay. Now, when I want to turn the fresh water off, I can. If I've got some of these that I just carry in, now I just turn this one on. Okay. Now it's pumping out of here. See how that works? That way you can fill up your fresh water like, I don't know, wherever at a big place, wherever you're at a big place. Okay, sometimes you just drive past a campground, fill it up, okay? But these, you can fill these up like literally anywhere, in any river, you know what I mean? If you're away from your RV and then your RV's here and your fresh water tank's empty, then you can fill, I've got 4 of these that I just throw in the back of the truck. And then I can fill them up. So basically that gives me 4 days worth of water pretty much. For me to do a shower, everything, I seem to use one of these by myself, okay? So everything's set up. The hot water isn't getting very hot though, but my tank, my propane tank is pretty much empty. So I think I'm going to take the propane tank off, swap, and put a new propane tank in, see if the hot water, it was getting hot, but it just wasn't getting hot enough. So I'm pretty sure it works. I'm pretty sure it's just, I just need to swap out the propane tank. So that's good. The pump works and everything else works, and now I can move on to the next thing. I did have a leak in here. I had no idea that this pipe screws into this pipe. I had no idea. So luckily I had just enough room I could get a pipe wrench on there, pull this whole thing down, get some tape on it, and put it back up, and then tighten it in there. I had no idea that those were 2 separate pieces. So yeah, you got to use Teflon tape on everything. So everything works. All of the plumbing works. The only thing I don't know if it works is the hot water tank. I do have a hornet's nest. You see these right here? You see that paper? I kept seeing these papers everywhere where the hornet nest is trying to build the hornets have kept trying to build a nest and then didn't. Well, I found their actual nest, and there's a big ass one, and it's right on the back of my solar panel. And I went out there to adjust the solar panels the other day, and it is massive, dude. Then there are some really big hornets. So typically how I get rid of hornets, they're not the same as wasps. So I have I don't want to set my solar panel on fire, but you see this torch here? That's typically how I handle the hornets. And the reason why I do it this way is because the hornets are too big, like wasps and the wasp nest. If you take like the dish, what is it, like the hand soap that you normally have in your kitchen, you know, the green, blue, whatever. If you just put like a tablespoon of that in a big sprayer, you know, like a 2-gallon sprayer, you spray wasps with it, and you'll watch whatever kind of neurotoxin stuff that's in it, it will kill an entire thing of wasps. And the wasps, typically on their nests, when you spray them, they won't fly out. Like, if you spray all of them all at once, like their wings get wet, they normally stay there, and then they'll like protect the nest. Just keep spraying them. They'll all fall off and die in like a minute. So if that stuff is that powerful, And if you spray that stuff on your trees, your tree leaves will all fall off. So that is some really potent stuff. Like, I would never put my hands in that dish detergent stuff, okay? Hornets are so freaking massive, dude, and I don't know what, I've never been stung by a hornet. I've been stung by a bumblebee, and that had a welt for 2 days. I can have a welt for a day just from a normal honeybee. So those hornets are like 5 times the size of a honeybee. Probably bigger than that. I mean, they're big. Some like as big as the big ones, like about as big as your thumb. I mean, they're freaking massive. I don't know what it would feel like to get stung with one, but not good. So I'm gonna put on my bee suit. I'm just gonna take that propane tank off, hook this up, and walk up there with the bee suit, torch the hell out of it, and then I'll come back down, and then I'll get that thing filled and see if the propane works. But I'm thinking everything works. So far right now we have no leaks. Everything works. The shower works. The shower head was installed right. I mean, we're doing pretty good here today. So I didn't know I'd have to swap out all that stuff, but I think I'm just gonna knock some other things out real quick and hit these jacks and get these jacks where they need to go. And yeah, doing good. Alright, I went up there, torched the hornet's nest, got a new canister of propane, hooked it up, and let's see what happens, guys. I don't know which way is hot. That's cold. That's like lukewarm. Guess it helps if I hit on, huh? Oh, okay. We got flame. Getting hotter. I mean, that's like lukewarm. Ooh, that's better. That's still not quite shower temperature. Ooh, that feels good. That's plenty for there. Let's do the ooh, hot shower. I'm gonna say just a little more. Oh shit. What is happening? I guess I didn't hook that fan up yet. It only goes up to 123, but it was only going to 116, and 116 did not feel hot enough. Saying it's at 112. Beaver guys, we might be switching back to propane hot water tank. I mean, it's summertime, dude. This is supposed to be the 65,000 BTU, which was like the big one. But if it's not going to get the water hot enough, I don't know. See, this is how it goes. It's how it goes, guys. This is why most people aren't going to be ready. You're like, you plan for things and you put your things aside and you do your things and you're like, you know what, it just doesn't really work that well. So we may actually need something bigger. So don't know. Looks like it'll work for the summertime, but do you really think that that thing's going to heat in the winter? Alright, gotta figure it out.
It's the same routes.
Alright, so this is my custom tire holder rack. I wanted to put the tire in a different spot, but I wanted to put it back there, but it would have hung down way below that frame or the axle, and I don't want it that low. So this, this is a lot narrower, and I'm able to get it all the way up like 3 or 4 more inches. So, oh shit. What we're gonna do is I need to drill and screw there. We're gonna drill and screw there, and then I'm gonna make one that comes back into there, and then we're gonna do a tie down strap that'll go through these around the tire to hold it in place. That's the deal. Alright guys, we got the tire mounted. We got a ton of stuff done today. I had when I walked outside, I noticed that my gray tank was leaking. So in between having to run to the store to pick up parts, I had put things in temporarily, and then I didn't actually glue it in, so I had to like rip out this piece to get it so I could glue it back together. It was a pain in the ass. So that's done. The scissor jack, all the scissor jacks are now remounted where they need to be. All the plumbing stuff is fixed and done. I've got a new tank, full tank on there, so that's done. These jacks just came in the mail. So these are your internet jacks. These little blue things just clip into this mount right here on the back side. So you've got these RJ, I forget what they call these, like RJ something clips, little Cat 5, Cat 6, whatever clips. The only difference is how you wire it. So for Cat 5, I just taped the wiring guide right to this thing. I just shrunk it down, taped it, color taped it there, that way I don't forget. So I'm gonna do a jack here. So I just drilled out a hole big enough that this little thing will fit in. I'm just gonna screw these down. Bam, done. I got a jack to do here, I got a jack to do there, and then I got 2 more ends to put on that piece. So I got 4 of these things to wire up right now. And then we'll move on to the electric. And I'm sitting here in the AC now with the generator on, dude, and it feels wonderful in here. It is freaking hot outside, humid, horrible. I've been down. I've got my army of old... These things, this is my oldest one. That's a little newer. They start to give out after a while, and they're only like 60 bucks for the tool. And it's really nice to have... You see how I've got different ends on different ones? It's kind of nice to just always have one with that and that. And the same with the drill bits, because I always have this, so it's just... Then I can have a spade bit on one and a drill bit on the other. So this is like the little army of things that end up laying around. That way I don't have to put in new bits every time I turn around. I can just grab the drill and do stuff. You won't believe how many things you got to drill, screw, different screw, you know? I wish that they would just get rid of all screws and just go to those Starkey star screws, because they work the best. They come out the best, they drive in the best. I don't know, they could get rid of like a lot of things. So anyhow, working on this stuff, trying to do a good push here. It's 5. Trying to do a good push here before Sabbath. Get the rest of this done. Oh, I got the CO monitor installed. And then the fire detector thing's supposed to be here before Sabbath, so I might install that too. So yeah.